Hello everyone, welcome to Chelsea Sport Focus. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of breaking news. Let's get started. Will leave. Fabrizio Romano confirms. Key Chelsea. Transfer decision ahead of busy summer window. The situation involves a familiar name, Joao Felix. Following a disappointing 2-0 defeat to Newcastle United at St. James's Park, Chelsea's ambitions for Champions League qualification suffered another hit. A red card for Nicholas Jackson during the first half proved to be a pivotal moment, and Enzo Maresca now faces a crucial final stretch in the Premier League campaign. The Blues need 6 points from their final 2 matches to stand a real chance of securing a top 4 finish. But behind the scenes, the club's recruitment team is already hard at work, making tough decisions for the 2025 summer transfer window, and Romano's latest update sheds light on one of them. Joao Felix's Chelsea future. Romano breaks the silence. According to Fabrizio Romano, Joao Felix is set to return to Chelsea following the conclusion of his loan spell with AC Milan. The Portuguese international had joined the Italian giants on loan to reignite his form, but as the season wraps up, it has become clear that he will not be staying at the San Siro. Joao Felix will leave Milan and return to Chelsea, Romano revealed, bringing the player's next steps into sharp focus. However, Romano also added that Felix's return to Stamford Bridge doesn't mean he'll feature in Chelsea's 2025/26 plans. Chelsea's strategy, loan or sell. From what sources close to the club understand, Chelsea are unlikely to keep Felix at the club long-term. He is not in Enzo Maresca's plans, especially with the club prioritizing the recruitment of a new top-class striker this summer. If a permanent buyer for Felix cannot be found, Chelsea will look for another loan option, potentially in La Liga or Serie A once again. Clubs in Spain remain keen on the 24-year-old forward, who has shown glimpses of quality but has struggled with consistency. Felix's current contract with Atletico Madrid still runs until 2029, making the situation even more complicated. Chelsea are not expected to pursue a full-time return given their financial priorities and long-term squad-building strategy under Maresca. Chelsea's summer, more outs than ins. This summer, Chelsea's focus won't be solely on bringing players in. A major part of their strategy will revolve around clearing out the squad, making room for players that fit Maresca's system. The futures of several loan returnees will need to be addressed, and Joao Felix is just one piece of that puzzle. With financial fair play rules looming over their decisions and an ambitious plan to sign a new striker, right winger, and possibly a center-back, the Blues need to make space on the wage bill and trim the squad where necessary. What's next for Joao Felix? Felix still possesses talent that could be valuable in the right system, but he has struggled to find a home since his breakout years at Benfica. His time at Atletico Madrid soured due to clashes with Diego Simeone, and although he showed flashes of brilliance during his first Chelsea loan spell in 2023, the club ultimately did not pursue a permanent deal. Now, with another return to Chelsea looming, his future remains uncertain. Whether it's another loan or a permanent departure, it is almost certain that Joao Felix will not be wearing blue when the 2025-26 season kicks off. 100%. Enzo Maresca categorically confirms big Chelsea transfer news this summer. Chelsea head coach Enzo Maresca has made a definitive statement on the club's summer transfer intentions, delivering huge news that will no doubt send excitement and anticipation racing through the fan base. Speaking ahead of Chelsea's crucial Premier League clash against Manchester United, Maresca addressed several burning topics, most notably the club's urgent need to sign a new striker during the upcoming summer transfer window. Chelsea's UCL hopes hanging by a thread. The Italian coach's comments came after Chelsea's disappointing 2-0 defeat away to Newcastle United, a match that had serious implications for their Champions League qualification hopes. A red card to striker Nicholas Jackson in the first half made matters worse, leaving Chelsea in a precarious position with only 2 league games left to play. Sky Sports pundit Jamie Carragher didn't hold back in his post-match analysis, stating that Chelsea have a big problem ahead of the final stretch, with the pressure now squarely on the team to secure back-to-back wins if they are to guarantee a top 4 finish. Maresca speaks. A new striker is a must. In the pre-match press conference ahead of the showdown with Manchester United, Maresca did more than just address the Newcastle defeat. He offered the clearest confirmation yet of Chelsea's summer transfer strategy. When asked if the lack of competition has impacted Nicholas Jackson's development, Maresca admitted it's hard to judge. "I'm not able to answer now because I don't know the other part, if a number 9 was here. For sure, with us, in my personal opinion, he has grown and improved a lot." But when pressed on whether Chelsea would look to sign another striker, Maresca gave a definitive answer that left no room for doubt. 100%. That short but powerful answer is confirmation that Chelsea's recruitment team will be on the hunt for a top-class number 9 this summer. Chelsea's search for the perfect striker. The Blues have already been linked with a host of names, including Victor Osimhen, Napoli, Benjamin Sesko, RB Leipzig, and Joao Pedro, Brighton. The need is clear. While Jackson has had moments of brilliance, the general consensus is that Chelsea need a clinical forward who can consistently deliver 20-plus goals a season and offer real competition for starting spots. Maresca's 100% confirmation is likely to accelerate Chelsea's pursuit of their ideal target, and may also influence the decision-making of several players and agents who were waiting for clarity on Chelsea's intentions. What this means for Chelsea's summer plans. Maresca's revelation is also part of a wider summer rebuild strategy, with sources close to the club suggesting that Chelsea aim to make 2 or 3 major signings to transform the squad into title contenders for 2025 to 2026. With Champions League qualification still on the line, signing a proven goal scorer could be the difference-maker next season, especially given the team's struggles with finishing and inconsistency in the final third. Final word. Enzo Maresca has made it clear, Chelsea will sign a new striker this summer, 100%. With massive expectations and ambition building at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea fans can prepare for a thrilling transfer window ahead. The striker search is officially on, and it's going to be huge. The incredible Chelsea, 11 for 20, 25 to 26, with 3 new signings for Prem title charge. Chelsea could be a force to be reckoned with in 2025 to 26 if they get their squad building right. But what exactly will their lineup look like? Things finally seem to be settling down at Stamford Bridge after a couple of years of haphazard spending under the new owners. Chelsea are on track for Champions League qualification for the first time 2022. Now, if they have any sense about them, they won't need any more overhauls, but could still strengthen with a few new signings. Sources are suggesting that Chelsea internally believe they could challenge for the Premier League title next season with 2 or 3 important signings. But in a best-case scenario, who could those signings be and what would they be adding to? Here, Team Talk takes a look at the potential Chelsea Bamwine for 2025 to 2026, including 3 new signings. Goalkeeper, Đorđe Petrovic. The goalkeeper position has been one Chelsea have struggled to get right for several years, ever since forking out £72 million for Kepa Arrizabalaga. Kepa struggled to live up to his price tag and hasn't played for Chelsea since May 2023. Ironically, though, he has been one of the best-performing goalkeepers on their books this season, earning praise for his performances on loan at Bournemouth, where there seems to be mutual interest in making his stay permanent. It's believed the 3 keepers Chelsea have in contention for the number 1 spot next season are current options Robert Sanchez and Philip Jorgensen, plus Đorđe Petrovic, who has impressed on loan at Strasbourg. Petrovic has become a target for recently promoted Leeds United, but while Chelsea continue to publicly back Sanchez, they should be looking to reintegrate the Serbia international. He has the second-best save percentage in League One this season and wasn't even doing too badly before Chelsea sent him out on loan. He'll be looking to maintain a starting role for his progress next season, so may have to consider his future, but Chelsea would be wise to take another look at him. Right back, Reece James. While James is the captain of Chelsea and their best-paid player, his injury issues have allowed Malo Gusto to start more often at right back this season. Both players have long-term contracts, with Gusto tied down until 2030 and James committed until 2028. There's also the young Josh Akiampong to throw into the mix at right back. There have been mixed reviews of Gusto's form, whereas for James, the issue is his fitness. If he can avoid injury, he would be the first-choice starter in his position. But the last season he got through without an injury was 2018-19, when he was on loan at Wigan. CB, Dean Huijsen. Centre-back is an area Chelsea are looking to strengthen this summer after having to recall Trevoh Chalobah from loan in January due to injuries within their ranks. The Blues are one of several clubs embroiled in the race to sign Huijsen this summer. And while the word gets thrown around in a lot of transfer reports, this one genuinely is a race. Huijsen has looked decent value for his £50 million release clause during his debut season at Bournemouth, so multiple clubs are thinking of triggering it early. In fact, the Spain international's future could be decided during the early transfer window in the first 10 days of June, before the Club World Cup, which Chelsea will be participating in. While they will have to be more convincing than the likes of Liverpool or Real Madrid, Chelsea could hit the accelerator to snap Huijsen up. Sources have relayed their confidence that they can sign the 20-year-old, who they are willing to offer a 7-year contract to. Central back, Levi Colwill. Of Chelsea's existing crop of defenders, Colwill is the one to have amassed the most minutes this season, with more than 50 hours of action in all competitions. Maresca publicly earmarked Colwill as a potential future Chelsea captain back in January, which suggests he will be viewed as a key player as long as the Italian head coach sticks around. The Chelsea Academy product has previously attracted interest from some of their Premier League rivals, but his contract is valid until 2029 with the option of an extra year. As a left-footed centre-back, Colwill brings balance for Chelsea. He has been able to play in his natural position far more often than last season, when he sometimes covered at left back. His consistency can improve, but at the age of 22, he deserves the time to progress. Left back, Marc Cucurella. After 2 average seasons since his move from Brighton, Chelsea would have been hoping that Cucurella could carry over his better form with Spain at Euro 2024 into his 3rd campaign in their colours. And it's worked, with Cucurella establishing himself as Chelsea's first-choice left-back, so much so that they were willing to let Ben Chilwell and Renato Vega go in January. From a goal-scoring perspective, not that it's his main job, this has been by far the best season of Cucurella's career, and also his busiest in English football in terms of appearances. Cucurella has been tentatively linked with a return to Spain with one of La Liga's big hitters, but Chelsea want to keep him and have him on a contract until 2028. Defensive midfielder, Moises Caicedo. Chelsea committed to a fee that could break the British transfer record if add-ons are activated when they bought Caicedo from Brighton in 2023. With a price tag of up to £115 million, it's fair to say there were high expectations for the Ecuador midfielder. And in an era where goals and assists dominate football discourse, it was going to be a challenge for a defensive midfielder to prove his worth. This season, his second in Chelsea colours, has seen Caicedo take a massive leap. He was recently chosen by fans and players as Chelsea's Player of the Season for 2024-25. While he has sometimes been asked to cover at right back, Caicedo has stood out in the midfield territory he calls his home. At the time of writing, Caicedo has started all of Chelsea's Premier League matches this season. He's going to have a massive part to play in the next one too. Centre midfielder, Romeo Lavia. Will next season be the year when Chelsea finally get to give Lavia a regular role? They have been huge admirers of the former Manchester City and Southampton player for a long time, but since signing him in 2023, injury issues have disrupted his progress. Lavia has shown his importance to Chelsea when available in recent weeks, so if he can remain fully fit, he ought to be a key player next season. Sources confirmed to Team Talk in March that Lavia would attract interest if he was made available, but Chelsea have not been actively looking to get rid of him. His contract is still valid until 2030, and the Belgian midfielder is happy at the club. CM Enzo Fernandez. If you're going to spend £106.8 million on a player, you're going to have to give him a key role. That's exactly what Chelsea have done with Fernandez since his arrival from Benfica in January 2023. He was appointed as vice-captain when Enzo Maresca took charge and has been productive since, recording 20 goal contributions in a significant improvement from his 2023 to 2024 numbers. Due to Reece James's absences, Fernandez has worn the armband more often than not in 2024 to 2025, emerging as a leader and player Chelsea are building around. He has recently surpassed 100 Chelsea appearances, the first Argentine player to do so for the Blues. Right winger Cole Palmer had just 3 Premier League starts to his name when Chelsea splashed out £40 million to sign him from Manchester City. But he soon carved out an indispensable role for himself at Stamford Bridge. The attacking midfielder was a revelation in his first season at Chelsea, scoring 22 goals in the Premier League. Quite quickly, it became clear he was someone to build around. And while he won't match those numbers by the end of this season, he has still managed to score 15 times in the top flight in 2024-25, in spite of a near 4-month gap between his 2 most recent league goals. Palmer remains one of Chelsea's key players and will likely keep the right wing spot nailed down in their current system. Left winger Morgan Rogers. Chelsea added a new winger last summer with the signing of Pedro Neto from Wolves, but they still want to enhance their options out wide, especially as they look likely to pay a penalty fee to send Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United. A move for United's Alejandro Garnacho was explored in January, while Borussia Dortmund's Jamie Gittens, who briefly spent some time in their academy as a child, is also on their shortlist. Team Talk has also revealed Chelsea's interest in Aston Villa's Morgan Rogers, who would cost in the region of £90 million to sign. Maresca remembers Rogers from his time in Manchester City's academy, and the 22-year-old fits into Chelsea's recruitment policy. It would be difficult to prize him away from Villa, but Rogers is open to a move, without wanting to push for one. This season, Rogers has played mainly as a central attacking midfielder, but as a right-footer, he could cut in from the left wing to score and create chances. Striker Benjamin Sesko. Multiple clubs are in the market for a new striker to take them to the next level this summer, and Chelsea are one of them. Nicholas Jackson has scored 10 times in the Premier League, but Chelsea could do with someone capable of doing double that if they really are to push for the title. One of the most appealing names on their shortlist is Sesko, who looks ready for the next step after matching the best goal-scoring season of his career this term with RB Leipzig. The Slovenia striker will be 22 years old by the time next season comes around, so fits into Chelsea's focus on bringing in valuable players with long-term potential. A lofty target man, he averages about 15 league goals per season, which doesn't quite dwarf Jackson's output, but does show his superiority. And he has time on his side to get even better. A lot of clubs will have Sesko on their radar, but Chelsea made contact for him as far back as December, according to sources. Ipswich Town's Liam Delap also has admirers at Chelsea, but he is waiting to see if a move to Manchester United materializes, so Sesko is a strong alternative option for the Blues after they made a fresh approach.